Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Get to Know Them. I am your host, Monica Graves, and this is a weekly podcast that I created just when COVID began, and I'm still going at it. It's so much fun and so enjoyable for me to get to talk to different people from different walks of life every single week. And um, you get to watch them too. And I hope that you get inspired by their stories. Today's guest is so inspiring. I've got a million questions for her. She's amazing. And before I introduce her, I just wanted to go through our show sponsors with you quickly. So, first of all, my name is Monica Graves, as I said, and I have a business called Glam Jewels, which is a jewelry company. So I am a jewelry designer and just new to the talk show world. And my website is glamjewels, GLAMJULZ.com. You can check out my website. And if you are looking to do any type of fundraising or anything for your community where you want to raise money, please reach out to me because we help people along with that. And it's so enjoyable. So don't hesitate to reach out. My next show sponsor is Brenda Badome, who dresses me every week for the show. And you can check out her website at brendabadome.com. Use the coupon code Get to Know Them, and you will receive 20% off your order. My next show sponsor is a place I love to hang out on Thursday nights, Scooters Roller Palace. You can go to their website at scooters.ca. If you are interested in coming out for some roller skating and it's been a while, on Thursday nights they have lessons for adults, and those lessons start at 7 p.m. Totally worth the investment. I think it's like $16 or something for a lesson. Um, It'll get you back rolling again in a safe way. And remember to wear wrist guards when you come out for roller skating. That's another thing. My last sponsor, but not least, is flourishandbasque.ca. Chantel Ingram owns a beautiful boutique in downtown Oakville. Please check her out. She has a variety of alcohol-free beverages and beautiful glassware. So be sure to give her a visit. Let her know we sent you. And again, use the coupon code Get to Know Them either on her website at flourishandbasque.ca or in store, and she'll give you 10% off her order. Okay, are you ready to hear about our guest today? I am so excited to bring her on. I have known our guest for many, many years and been wanting to have this conversation for a long time. So today we get to do that. You are going to meet Kim McCurlie today. Kim's passion is fitness. Her philosophy is to move your body daily. With more than 12 years of experience as a group fitness instructor and personal trainer, Kim aspires to inspire others. She's been teaching a full body strength training class 3 times a week for the past 11 years, and back in 2020 began teaching virtual boot camp and HIIT style classes online twice a week, which is still going strong today. In Kim's youth, she was a gymnast for many years, played various sports such as baseball, basketball, and volleyball, and even dabbled in jazz and tap classes. Kim has enjoyed competing in various track and field events, competing in 50-meter, 100-meter, and relay races, as well as short jump, long jump, and even shot put. Kim took up CrossFit at the age of 40 for a couple of years and then began long distance running back in 2014. In 2015, she entered the Disney Princess Half Marathon weekend and completed the 5K, 10K, and half marathon over one weekend. Since then, Kim has run that race 6 times, with her latest this past February. She also loves to compete in local 5, 10, and 15K and other half marathons. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Kim's hope is to nudge people out of their comfort zone and help them to discover a love of fitness. Kim says it is never too late to start. Yay! Let's bring her on.
Yeah.
Kim,
Hello.
I
Wow.
mean, do you get worn out when you hear your bio?
Oh
Like,
my goodness. I was like, what are you talking about? Is that, oh,
That's a,
me.
yeah, that's you. Oh my gosh, that's so much. And the energy, I mean, to be able to do all those things is incredible.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Well, thank you very kindly.
You're welcome. And I'm so excited, as I say, because I've known you for, I think we've known each other almost 20 years, and
Yeah.
we've never had this discussion.
No.
It, no. So this is cool. It's always been, I've monopolized our conversations with me and my jewelry. So now we get to talk about you.
That's okay. I love your jewelry, so that's okay.
So, Kim, we want to know obviously what little Kim wanted to be when she grew up. Let's start there.
Wow. I don't, I don't know if anybody's ever asked me that, and if they have, I'm not sure I've ever said it out loud, and definitely not in this type of format. I I wanted to be like a singer dancer, like a backup singer or something like that, and entertaining of some sort. So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of in that with like instructing and, I'm performing, but in a different way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of my participants will tell you that I do sing at times when I'm working out. So, but anyway, here we are. Yeah.
Good. Wow. So, so what was your like sort of school years and high school years like? Were you actually pursuing that? Like, were you taking singing lessons and
Oh,
you were
no, no.
doing your tap? No.
No, but I did do, yeah, like when I was a very young child, the whole
Yeah.
tap, jazz, baton. I was in local Stony Creek Santa Claus parade. Did that sort of thing. Multiple like dance recitals. And as far as being a gymnast, I mean, I have to use that term loosely. I mean, because there's like real major gymnasts. I took gymnastics for many years through grade school, but I did many competitions as well. Vault was
Okay.
one of my kind of fave things that I did, or floor routines where you're out on the floor and doing something. So did that for a long
Right.
time. Lots of sports. It sadly didn't really translate into high school. I had some knee issues, and the doctor's like, let's take a year off. And then a year led to really no sports, so to speak, in high school. But definitely active basketball, volleyball, like any sports I could do in school, like I'm signing up for it. You know, uh,
Wow.
big basketball, volleyball. Believe it or not, at my all of 5'5", I was a center. I
Wow.
literally only because I could jump. I mean, again, we're whatever we are, grade 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So I might have even been a bit shorter, but I could jump. So I was center when I did.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I did baseball. I was a pitcher or shortstop. I just loved being active. I guess really,
Yeah.
and then that, again during high school that kind of took a bit of a back seat.
Mhm.
And then I dabbled into it. I love roller skating. uh,
Yes.
oh, I did, and I took roller skating lessons too when I was younger.
Oh,
In
that's good. Where did you do that?
roller gardens in
Okay, in
Creek.
Burlington.
No, in Stony Creek.
Oh, in Stony Creek, they have
Stony
roller
Creek.
gardens as well. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I would love to know, and I don't know if you'll remember this because you were so young, but whenever I hear gymnastics, I get like, I almost get the sweats because I remember being in gym class and them telling us we had to do gymnastics. And maybe because I was tall, I was so awkward in my body. Like I was really afraid of those flips and
Flips and
all of that kind of stuff. And even swimming, like when you did the somersault at
yeah.
those kind of things really freaked me out. But I've always been curious to know, like for somebody like you, were you ever scared doing that
Oh,
type of
sure.
activity
Absolutely.
or
Yeah. That very
were you?
first, you're going to do like a back walkover or a back handspring, you
Yeah.
know? So initially when you start out, you have somebody supporting you. So you're standing there, they're behind you, hand on your back. And then as you bend over, it's a scary thing to bend backwards like that,
Yeah.
and then, so, I mean, some definitely were, way ahead of me. But yeah, absolutely. There was that, fear of falling when you go back. Am I going to hit my head? And you do. You live and learn, right?
Yeah.
And definitely back handsprings. But then and we would practice in the yard at home as kids, doing that in the backyard, running, flipping. But absolutely, there was that fear until you do it and realize,
Mhm.
oh, wow. And then you do it once or twice, and then you just kind of keep doing it. So
Okay. And were your like what was your upbringing like, Kim? Were you encouraged to get into sports? Like was that something in the
I,
family that was
I can't say that I was ever really encouraged. My family is not into sports at all. But I think what the catalyst was is that I grew up in a neighborhood that the girls on either side of me that lived beside me, they were a grade ahead of me in school, but they were in sports. So they were in baseball. So we were on the same baseball team, even though like a year apart in age. Um, I don't know. I don't know where the love of that came from. I guess I just was sort of, I'm considered, I guess they call high twitch. So I'm going. I'm always going, doing something. If I wasn't doing back flips in the backyard or that sort of thing, I was in the neighbor's pool, swimming, or on the bike out in the country, for miles on end. My neighbor had her cousin had a horse and would come over. We would go horseback riding. So it's just very active. I just loved. Even then I loved moving my body. So
Oh, that's lovely. Did you
yeah.
find that it helped a lot also like in your younger years, like through your teens, when our hormones are going wild and all that teenage angst and everything? Would you say that exercise kind of,
Well, what?
really helped? But
For
you were,
anybody. Well, for anybody, whether
yeah.
you're 10, you're 20, you're 40, you're 50, like moving your
Yeah.
body actually just gives you more energy.
Yeah.
Um, and as I said, I just really always enjoyed being out there. I didn't sit down a whole lot. I lived kind of
Yeah,
country, right? So there was just always lots to do.
that's
Always.
correct. And so have you always like worked in fitness, Kim, or was there a time where you did
Um,
other work?
no, I can't say I've always worked in fitness. The fitness that I started working in it was about 2012.
Okay.
But I was always involved in it. Never as it's sort of like a kind of a side business that I do, right? But I love it. Like you said in the beginning, like it's a passion of mine,
Mhm.
and it gets me so excited to meet other like-minded people or people who are interested in hearing about it, such as yourself. Like, tell me about it. What got you into it? Again, it's just sort of a love of always moving my body. There was a time, as I think I said, through high school, maybe
Mhm.
early 20s, that wasn't really on the radar. Until then I had kids. They were sort of my fitness, right? You're picking up two kids, walking around, carrying up and down the stairs. And I started doing CrossFit a little later in life. But yeah, in all honesty, it's just always really been a passion. I just always
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So
God.
yeah.
And so tell us about Disney. Like, how did this all
Oh,
happen
my running.
with
So
running? Yeah.
in regards to sports and everything, so with the basketball, baseball, volleyball, track and field, I was more into the short distances, more of a sprinter, like the 50-meter, 100-meter. We did some relay, but I was never really a long distance runner. I was like, that's not for me.
Mhm.
Until I guess in around 2014, joined a local gym, and it was a kind of a run on the treadmill, do some strength training, and then I thought, I'm going to maybe take this running thing outside. And I had dabbled over the years and dabbled and went, I
Okay.
don't think I like it. Now I love it.
Yeah.
So I started on the treadmill and then took it outside. And there's various apps you can do, couch to 5K. There's walk run method, so many different things. So I just took it outside once the weather started to get nice. And I had heard that, and I love Disney. I had heard, Disney has these races and they've been having them for many years. So in 2014, I said, I'm going to sign up for the Disney Princess Half Marathon, which was coming up the following year in February 2015. So now, as I said, we're like April 2014. and I'm going to train now to do my very first half marathon. And what better place than Disney World, running through
Oh,
running through the Disney Castle. And so I trained for that, signed up for it, and then in the meantime, I joined some local races here in Burlington, a 5K here, a 10K there, um, to sort of get me warmed up and get me really into it and see how it is. And let me tell you, being on that start line, the adrenaline's going, it's just so exciting. It's just so exciting,
yeah.
people around. And so February 2015, that weekend I ran, because I thought this was going to be a one and done, right? Just
Uh-huh.
do it, get it out of me, and well. So anyway, that weekend I did a 5K Friday, a 10K on the Saturday, and a half marathon on the Sunday. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So anyway, that was great. And like I said, I thought it was a one and done. I met wonderful people because we have Facebook groups and you chat. And I'm still friends with some of these ladies. In fact, I wasn't home maybe a week, maybe even a couple of days, and I got a call from one of the people I had met. Hey, do you want to do the race again next year? And we'll all stay together. I'm like, yes. So anyway, there I go again. I'm training again all through 2015 now and doing multiple races around here, and then did it again and then again. And so I think it's been there was a year or two I took off. Of course, COVID kind of messed things up. And I just did it in February for the sixth time. So,
God, that's incredible.
and you get to go to Disney,
What,
and
right. So what's the route? What's the route that they take you on through
well, there's
Disney? Like,
there's different. It depends. The 5, the 10, and the half are different, and as well,
okay.
the routes have changed over the years. Basically, you start in the parking lot at Epcot, and
Okay.
for the 5K, now again, they have changed it, but it used to be that you would come in, you're in the parking lot, come through, come in this back way into Epcot. If anybody knows that World Showcase, you would run around there, come out by the big sphere, the big ball. They took us on a different route this year. I'm trying to think I think it was the 10K. We ended up, for the first time, for me anyway, we ran through Hollywood Studios on one of the races that we hadn't done before. At least the few times, the times that I've done it. But basically, and then your half marathon is, again, starting in the parking lot, Epcot, you got a long walk to the start line, and then you're there with, may I add, 24,000 runners.
My
So
God.
it's a lot. Now they put you in different corrals and categories, so that you're not all going together, and they let you off in increments. But like, I can't even tell you. It's so exciting, and everyone, of course, is in their little Disney princess costume. I think the picture you showed of me, that's like
Yes.
Cinderella with the little choker in the blue. Some people are full on Cinderella. Some people do different costumes and stuff like that, but it's
Yeah.
it's amazing. I met a lady 2 summers ago in Niagara. We got chatting. We started sort of messaging on Instagram, Facebook. I didn't see her for 10 months. Ran into her, and at the mall, we went to the food court and chatted for 3 hours. Hadn't seen the woman since the year before. We got
Jeez.
chatting, and she goes, "A dream of mine would be to run the Disney Princess Half Marathon." I go, "Well, you've come to the right person." And so I said, this was just a stranger I had met in Niagara. Met up 10 months later. Then we trained, and her and I did it together in February.
Oh my
So
gosh. That is so cool. It's like the
it's,
universe just bringing you together for this.
yeah, like,
Wow.
there's that saying, like, things happen for a reason. And that's what she said. There was a reason I met you in Niagara. I didn't run
Yeah.
into you for a while, but there was a reason for that. And yeah, we just did the race in February. So
Oh,
it,
that's lovely.
it's
What a
exciting.
great thing to look forward to and to plan for,
Oh my God.
It's such a reward at the end, right?
It is. It absolutely
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And how long does it take you to recover? Like when you do a weekend like that where you have the 5, the 10, and then the half marathon,
Uh,
do you
well,
have a day there to just rest before you come back
no,
home, or what do you
there's no
do after?
resting. Not for me, no. Not for me. Now, everyone's
Yeah.
different, right? Some people
Mhm.
need that downtime. Some people, whatever, because of their vacation schedule, they're running Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I might add that we are up at 2 in the morning to
Oh,
prepare, have your coffee, your electrolytes, a little bite to eat, and the race starts at 5:30 in the morning. So we do this before the sun comes up, before the park comes up, right? So some
okay.
people may finish that run on a Sunday and they're later in that afternoon on a plane going back home.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
myself, I always try to plan it that I have an extra day.
Mhm.
But I'm there. I'm like, I'm here. I'm in the parks. I'm going to Magic Kingdom. I'm doing Epcot. I'm doing all that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But everyone's different. They're
Good for
recovering.
you.
Some people need a day or two of, no movement.
Hmm.
But movement's good. That the last thing you want to do is after you run a long distance. Sometimes when I do those half marathons, I'll go into my room, fill it with cold water. I might even throw some ice in there
Yeah.
and slowly submerge myself and cover my legs, even up to my hips, to have that cold water to help with inflammation.
Oh God. Good for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, everyone. Some people don't do that. Some people do. Everyone has kind of their own thing, but that tends to
Yeah.
work for me. But movement is medicine. So,
Hmm.
as far as after those races, the worst thing to do is to lay down and not move.
Right. Yeah. I could imagine. It must, when you said the 5:30 in the morning, I'm just picturing how magical that must be to see the sunrise.
Oh my goodness,
Everything just sounds,
it's good.
makes me
And
want to do it.
And because of the amount of, okay, well, hey, sign up's coming. Careful what you wish for. Messaging you. Okay, Monica, today
Yeah.
sign up. Let's go. So, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's terrific. Now with the 5 and 10K, and again, it depends on where you. Sorry, my dog is running up on my lap. It depends on where you are placement in the corral. But like if I
Hmm.
do the 5 or 10, I'm pretty much starting in the dark because it's early, and
Yeah.
finishing when it's maybe just the sun's coming up, where some people, depending again where they are in the corral, may not be starting until a little bit later. But on that half marathon, yeah, you're running and the sun is coming up. You're running into it on that last, little while. So,
Oh,
yeah, it's fun.
that's
Fun.
beautiful. I love it. Oh my God. So tell us about your personal training and what you provide for people. I wanted to talk to you also about, the age that we're in, because if you don't mind me saying, I mean, uh, last September you were 56, Kim, and you're just like the picture of health and such an inspiration. And I'm wondering too, like for people who are watching that maybe weren't active growing up, now they're starting to feel like they want to introduce fitness into their life
Right.
and live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
I love what you say, like it's never too late to start, but I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I should have been doing this in my 20s. Like,
Well, you know
it's
what?
too late now.
A lot of us should
So,
have been doing a lot of different things or whatever, right? But
yeah.
right, it is never too late, right? Never, never,
Hmm.
never. Movement is medicine. Health is wealth, right? If you don't have your health, like, what do you have? And if we want to be here, and this is for anybody. I mean, anybody. If you have a younger audience and there's whatever teens, 20s, 30s, and definitely our age, uh, move your body, move it. You know, it doesn't have to be like heavy Olympic lifting. If that's someone's groove and they want to do that, more power to you. Somebody just starting out, walking is amazing for you. But getting that strength training in or that resistance training in is what is really key, right?
Right.
Benefits such as, it even it boosts your confidence, right? To move your body and do that, it's going to boost your confidence. It's going to add vitality and longevity to your life. It boosts your bone density, right? Helping with osteoporosis.
Mhm.
It's going to, you want to increase your strength, increase that lean muscle mass. And I think what freaks a lot of people out is like, well, I don't want to bulk up. I don't want to get big and bulky. Well, in
Yeah.
order to get big and bulky, an individual would have to eat a, a fair amount of calories and lift heavy weight and lift it often. And if that is your groove, then absolutely go for it. Um, but what I teach, I do, as you mentioned, like I was doing
Mhm.
online classes starting back in 2020 because everything shut down. The studio I taught out shut down. So I'm like, I'm going to take this online. Everybody loved it, even though things opened back up. Here I am now, literally, I think my 4th year anniversary is either past or it's coming up, right? 4 years of it.
Yeah.
And we use hand weights. We use small resistance bands. Sometimes we use like a little step for step ups. And then I do personal training as well. So
Okay.
that's either in my home or in an individual's home. I like to call myself the traveling trainer.
Perfect. Yeah.
um, so you just it's like I think we have talked about this before. Making it part of your lifestyle,
Mm.
making it part of just everyday stuff. You need to schedule time for you, self care, right? It's
Right.
not selfish, it's self care. You want to be here for your kids, maybe grandkids one day, all that sort of thing. And we need to we just really we need to move. We need to do things,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I think that's something that happens to a lot of us where we get on these kicks, like for instance, January 1st, prime example. Okay, that's it. I ate too much, I drank too much. Now it's
the New Year's,
January.
are you going to say
I'm
the New
gonna
Year's resolutions?
Yeah, and then,
Yeah,
the statistic is by January 21st, people have fallen off. And
yeah.
when you're talking about, really making it like a lifestyle choice, I read this book called Atomic Habits. I don't know if you've read that.
Yes,
Yeah, it's great. And they talk about habit stacking.
yeah,
So when you're already doing something like brushing your teeth, do 10 squats like while you brush your teeth,
yep,
right?
yep.
And so then you're bringing one thing into
Into it.
another habit. Yeah.
Right.
It's
And see, that's what I mean. Like, we don't think anything of getting up and going brushing our teeth, right? It's just ingrained in us. That's just what we do.
Yeah.
So, why can't we do that with fitness?
Mhm.
Schedule yourself in there. And I remember somebody asked me this some time ago, like, how do you fit it in? Where do you get the energy? Like, how do you get the time? And I go, because I I prioritize it. So I already know on this day, at this date, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, whether it's a workout, a run, or whatever at this time.
Mhm.
And if you need to schedule things for your children, let's say a dentist appointment, a class, whatever, you've already got your time slot. I'm doing this at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. So that dentist appointment's got to be at 2 o'clock or it's got to be at 5 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
So you have to schedule yourself in there as well.
Mhm.
We, you know, we will sit and aimlessly scroll through our phone, right? And we don't think much of it, but we sit down, we do it because it's like, well, I want to relax. Well, all of a sudden you go, oh my goodness, I have just spent 45 minutes on my phone, laptop, or whatever. Why, when maybe you could have been out for a walk or done some squats and some lunges or joined an online class or got,
Yeah.
so you just have to, and there's that, what is it? Is it 21 days about making a habit, right? And it's like you said,
Yes.
habit stacking. Put
Yeah.
it in there and schedule yourself and and do it. Some ways
Yes.
out. Look at it as it's you're investing in yourself for now and in your future and being here for kids, grandkids, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's so well put because yeah, you're right. If you don't have the mindset, it's not going to happen. And
Right.
it's so interesting, like all of the research they're doing now on, dopamine hits from scrolling and
Yep.
all this kind of stuff. Like you think to yourself, I go for a bike ride. I feel so great after. I
Yes.
sit with my phone in the moment. I'm like, cool, cool. Like
Right.
it's doing something, but then you feel like crap after. But yet
Right.
that's the thing that we go to. We don't go to the bicycle, we go to the phone.
Right.
So,
And
it's
we don't.
changing these neural pathways, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not, the saying like we don't stop moving because we grow old. We grow old because we stop moving. Right?
Yeah.
You see that? So
Hmm.
sitting and doing that, and I've done it myself where, I'm not perfect by any means. I've sat and scrolled, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm so tired. You're tired literally from doing nothing. But when you move your body, that actually, it's like plugging your phone in or something. Like you plug that in, it gives you energy to get that battery charging. So that's what you need to do. Get out there. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to run half marathons. You don't have to Olympic lift. Just get out and move. Move, and oh my God, it's just a mood enhancer.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've heard, oh, I didn't really want to do this workout today. But then when it was done, they're going, I'm so glad I did it though. Right. And it only
Yes.
takes a minute, right? You're not already in it 15 minutes going, oh my God, I dread this. It's just getting up and moving and starting it. But when you're in it, it's a game changer. It really is.
Yeah, for
It really is.
sure. God, I
So
love that. And the Kim, I wanted to talk to you also about mobility as we get older. Like from what I've heard, the best thing we can do is squats because the hips and the legs are what we
right.
really want to keep moving.
You know what?
Do you agree with that? Does that,
A thousand percent. So
yeah.
what I like to do is whether I personal training, I'm not doing now. My online class is a little bit different. It's a bit quicker. Um, but when I'm training somebody, it's all about functional movements, and like you said, we need to squat. You practice the squats, and there's various ways to do it. If somebody has mobility issues, I was also teaching seniors for a while,
Hmm.
and some of them were in a chair. They didn't really have the mobility, so we did a lot of upper body stuff, but we used the chair. So squats, right? We need to squat because we need to get up and off the toilet. We need to
Yeah.
be able to sit down and stand up. That is a squat, right? You're hanging on, you stand up, you sit down. So somebody older getting into that, you would have a chair for them and have them sit down and stand up and sit down and stand up. Lunges, practicing lunges. Well, how many times are we walking up and down stairs? Lunges,
Yeah.
those are lunges, walking and stepping. Overhead press, right? You have weights and you're pressing overhead to help with the shoulders and core stability, our core strength. Well, we have to sometimes put things up on a shelf. So you want to you want to be mobile in the shoulders. Um, Deadlifts is another exercise, right? For bending over. Even, we're standing, we bend over a hinge over at the hips to pick something up. So a deadlift, that's another exercise to help strengthen as well. So
Yeah.
functional movement,
It's so
that
beautiful. Like as you're describing this, I'm just thinking like this is what keeps us living in our own homes independently for longer, right?
thousand
Like,
percent, a thousand
yeah.
percent. I've seen, I have a family member, that's had an operation, so they're coming back around. I see so many things on social media that something happened to them and they couldn't move for a while. And that's why I say, like, health is wealth. If you don't have your health, what do you have? And
Yeah.
And these people were saying, look, I was out with whether it's a blown hamstring or something else, and I couldn't do anything. And you get yourself into a funk, and you realize, that saying, what you don't realize what you have until it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So true. And I
Yeah.
had injuries myself. I had a blown calf muscle, and I couldn't run for 9 months. So you make your way around it. Some people might just say, oh, I give up, I can't do, oh, I have an injury, I can't move. Worst thing you can do. And even when you've had an injury and you're coming back, you need to move your body to make that joint and more mobile, and get those muscles strong again to help whatever it is, the injury that you had.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So you do a HIIT workout on your online class. Can you tell us what that is exactly? What is
so
a
HIIT
HIIT
is
workout?
high intensity interval training. Okay.
Okay,
You're going to get two sort of things on this. Some people are going to be, oh my God, no, it boosts your cortisol levels. As we get older, you shouldn't do it.
right.
My thing is, if you're moving your body and you're doing it and you enjoy doing it, then do it. If
Okay.
you're like, heck no, I don't want to do that, I want to build more muscle, then you're going to do something a little different. You're going to go and just lift heavy weights. So my class is either, you can call it boot camp. Some people don't like that word because they think it's like, oh my God, it's terrible. I can't do that.
We're going to
Um,
be going up ropes in our
right.
basement as we know.
Armored crawl, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So no, it's not that. And the classes that I do are, you do at your own pace. So like I'm on Zoom is the platform that I'm using. So I'm in my home gym here. You're at home, and I really don't say what the exercises are going to be until I'm online. But I usually give them a heads up, like, go grab yourself a couple of set of dumbbells, and I try to give them a little nudge and say, you want lighter weights for this exercise and maybe a heavier weight for this. And I try to encourage, don't be afraid to push yourself a little, right?
Mm.
Because I teach at a gym, and that's another thing. Like I always try to encourage. They pick up a weight, and I look at them, and I'm like, I know you could go a little more. Like I'm not going to give them, going from a 10 pound to a 50 pound. But
Yeah.
if they're 10, I might give them a 15. I go, I think you can do that. And I get at the end of the class, thank you for pushing me, thank you for being.
Yes.
So the
That's
online
great.
class is different. I do different formats. Sometimes it's all cardio based, which is a lot of body weight exercises. That could be jumping jacks, jumping lunges, but I also give lots of modifications, right? If people
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do high impact, like a, jumping jack jumping, then you're stepping out to the side. You're just taking the impact out. Some people don't want to do jumping lunges. Understandable. You got bad knees, then you're just going to step. You know, it's
Perfect.
like I always say, you do you, right? If you want a little, little better result, you need to push a little bit. But I'm just happy that they're online and they're moving and grooving, you know?
Yeah, that's great. And I'm so happy you brought up the cortisol thing because this is sort of like the talk online now, especially like women who are over 50, who are going through perimenopause or
Yeah,
menopause. Stop running, stop doing cardio because it's going to raise your cortisol and then you're going to put on weight. And it's like, to me, I'm like, what in the actual heck? Like,
I know.
some of our favorite things are cardio, roller skating, bike riding, walking,
Yeah,
running. Like,
yeah.
we want to continue to do those things. So what is all this about
Sorry,
the
my dog
cortisol?
just was about to bark out the window there. Sorry.
Oh,
Um,
that's okay. He
yeah.
can be a part of the show. It's all good.
Oh, he might be. I don't know if you can hear him growling. So here's what I have to say. Again, it's about just moving your body and find something that you like. When you find something you like, you're going to be more apt at sticking to it, right?
Mm,
If you're an individual, I'm going to use running because we're using
yeah.
running. Some people are like, oh my God, no, I don't like it. Don't do it then. Go bike riding, go walking. Find something that you like because when you find something you like, you're going to stick with it. Chances are you're going to stick with it longer, right?
Right.
Um, but yeah, as far as that running and all that in menopause, look, I have to say, touch wood, I've gone through menopause. Like it's, I'm on the other side of it.
Hmm.
And I think exercising for sure has saved me in the fact that I really hadn't had any side effects or symptoms. The hot sweats and all of that.
Hmm.
So that's another thing. Women, as we age, moving your body, move, walk, get some 5, 10, get those 10 pound, get the 15 pound weights and get going. And if you like to run, run. If you want to roller skate, roller skate. If you want to swim, like I just say, do what your body will allow you to do and what feels good to you.
Yeah.
And as far as the cortisol level and that raising and having sleep is a big thing too. Sleep, drinking
Mhm.
lots of water, 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 water.
Yeah.
Too, alcohol as a aging person, especially female, doesn't help either, right?
Yeah.
Um, Again, it has everything to do sort of when we get that perimenopause and menopause,
Mm.
things that we have to switch that were okay when we were 30, 40, until it's not.
Yes. Yeah. That's
But
right.
yeah, so you have to drink more water, get good quality sleep, get outside, breathe some fresh air, go for that bike ride, that run, that walk, but pick
Hmm.
up weights, please.
Okay, that's good. So you were saying, I was going through your Instagram. I learned a new word on there, sarcodinia. Am I
Oh,
pronouncing it properly?
sarcopenia.
Yeah.
Sarcopenia. So
Openia.
that is
Sorry.
right. That's the
Yeah.
loss of muscle. Like as we age, right? Pretty much from
Right.
25 to 30, as we go older, we lose muscle. And
Mm.
so again, that's why I say like the sooner you can start, the better.
Right.
So by the time you get to be 40, 50, 60, you're on your way. And that's the problem. You see a lot of older people and they walk, they're slow, they're hunched over. Um, they um, they might have like a flatter backside. They're kind of walking bow-legged. Like you need to have. That's why the squats and lunges we talked about building
Yeah.
that up so that you can walk upright and walk proper and not kind of this. You see the waddling, right? Sometimes elderly
Right.
get that kind of waddle because they need to build up those glute muscles.
Yes. So what if you are in your 70s or 80s? What do you say to that?
Again, it's never too late. So I
Yeah.
was teaching some seniors, and it can be as simple as standing, and it doesn't even have to be senior. It could be somebody that just has some issues, mobility issues, injuries, and they're starting out.
Mhm.
You can stand at your counter. You were talking earlier about brushing your teeth and then doing squats, right? You
Yeah.
could stand at your kitchen counter or stand by a table and hang on to it and just squat down, and eventually you'll get deeper in that squat, but just do things like that. Or an older person standing up and down, hanging on like a chair that has arms on it to help push
Yeah.
yourself up and then sit down, right? And even this alone, right? I'm just lifting my body weight,
Hmm.
just using my arms. So
Right.
building strength that way. They An older person again could sit and lift their leg like from their knee, extend their knee, leg extension. They could sit in a chair and do some bicep curls, right?
Mm.
I have
Yeah.
or I had a lady in one of my a strength training class that I taught, and she was into her 70s. She'd had hip operation, hip replacement back a couple of years ago now,
Hmm.
but she just moves. She's just using 3 pound hand weights, but she's moving. She's doing the bicep curl and the press and the lunges, and she's doing it, you know?
Good. Oh,
And
that's so inspiring.
yeah, yeah. So get
Yeah.
up there, move your body.
Yeah, and also, Kim, I wanted to ask, like, what amount of time ideally, should people invest in themselves with strength training? Like, I know you were saying like 1 to 2 times a week is great to start out with, but
That's a good
then
that's a good start for sure. And
Yeah.
again, kind of like how I mentioned about finding an exercise that you like, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Finding, that's the same thing with exercise, right? Scheduling it in. If you only have 20 minutes on Monday, great. But
Yeah.
maybe on Tuesday you have an hour, maybe on Wednesday or Thursday you have 45 minutes. So you fit in what you can. Um,
Okay.
and as far as like, yeah, there isn't like, oh, you have to work out, an hour every single day. You don't have to. But if you are only going to work out for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, make it quality. Make it quality, like do it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
get quality in that 20 minutes. Um,
Beautiful.
so yeah.
This is exciting. I'm like raring to go.
There you
Okay.
go. All right.
So,
You and I, we're going for a run later. Okay.
yes, we are. I should get you to teach me how to run because
There you go.
I've tried it. I've had that euphoric feeling from it, and then I've sort of not, and
Yeah.
then I abandoned it. But
Right.
yeah,
And that's okay. But if you like cycling, then you cycle, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, and
perfect.
some, like we were talking about, well, we'll talk about running and cortisol level and stuff. And a lot of people would say like doing that sort of interval, like running fast. So like all out run for like 10 seconds and then kind of slow, take a rest, and then run for 10 seconds. Or if you're on a
Mhm.
treadmill, put it on high, go all out, and then come back down, lower your heart rate, take it back up again. So some are going to say that might be better than like long distance endurance running. But again,
Okay.
do what you enjoy, what you like.
Yeah.
Stick with
Yeah.
you'll stick with it. Yoga, even yoga,
Hmm.
you're going to build some strength, for some of the positions. But I'm still going to tell you, strength training, lift some weights, lift some
Okay.
weight. You know, anyone listen out there, ladies, even men for that matter, but we're, typically ladies, you're not going to get super bulky by just, once a week or twice a week. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
even a bodybuilder, like an actual, like a big bodybuilder, it takes them a very, very long time to put on 2 or 3 pounds of muscle in over a
Oh,
year.
for sure. And the diet, I mean, what they eat too is a big contributor to that. And no,
Well, that's what I
we're
was
the
saying. Like,
average person's not going to do
right, you want big and bulky, you're eating the major calories and lifting heavy, right?
that. Yeah.
But that's not, I mean, I'm not training bodybuilders and, big giant Olympic athletes. That's not what I'm doing. I'm training people like you, like me, like, that want to
Yeah.
get into it. Maybe they sign up for 5 or 10 sessions with me, and then, or they'll do stuff in between. I've had, couple of couples that I had for 2.5 years at a time. It
Yeah.
depends on what you want to it's about investing in yourself, right?
Yeah.
We go for
Yeah.
dinners, we buy $4 lattes, um,
y-
go buy
y-
a couple of sets of hand weights and let's get at it.
Yeah. And lift. That's great.
Lift.
So, Kim, now one of the reasons that you and I bonded too was because of our love of the 70s and the 80s.
Oh
And
yeah.
all you're like a person where we can talk for hours about,
Music.
different rock stars and music and
Absolutely.
all that stuff.
For sure.
So, even though, well, maybe it is somewhat related to exercise, it's related to your love of music and everything. When you told me years ago that you had met Donny Osmond, I was like, what the heck?
I know.
Such a fun, amazing story. And I've been putting on social media for people who are following the lead up to this interview some really great photos of Kim with Donny Osmond.
I
Can
have
you
my
tell us the
my one.
Donny story? Actually, before we go to the Donny story, there's another show and tell thing that I'd love for you to show just as a wrap up to the fitness um, chat. And that is the medals that you have
Oh yeah, yeah.
earned at your Disney. Yeah, if you can
Right. Now
show
I
the
have I
show
have
people.
a plenitude. I have like a plenitude, a multitude of all sorts of Disney medals.
Yeah.
Not to mention all my other ones, but so I do have some from my recent run in February. So this was from the 10K. If you can see that, So you'll
Wow.
see that is Rapunzel. So they theme the races, and then the
Ah,
medals end up coming out. I mean, they're like just gorgeous, gorgeous medals, right?
wow.
And that was now this particular one. I did the 10 and then the half marathon. This was Tiana
Oh, beautiful.
themed, and then because I do that, the five or sorry, the 10 and the half, they call that Disney Princess. It's the challenge. They call it. It's a challenge because you're doing 10 and a half, and then so you
Okay.
get a medal for each. The one for the 10, one for the half, and then you get another medal because you did both races. So
Oh, cool.
that's Frozen theme, and that kind of I think that slides back and forth. But
Oh,
in
yeah.
years, some of the medals were like a glass slipper, or they used to call it the glass slipper challenge. Yeah,
Right.
the medals are fun and amazing. So
Yeah. That's great. Oh my gosh. So good. So good. So so let's start with when you first fell in love with Donnie, how old you were, where did you see
five,
him? How did this
five.
happen? 5. Okay.
I was 5. Well, that's my like as far back as I can remember. So I
Yeah.
have here. I don't know if you can see this in the background. So I received this record album for my
Hmm.
birthday, and you can see there's a signature on there. Where can we? There we go.
Yes.
So Donnie signed that for me. We'll get to that. But so this was my very first record album that I received for my 5th birthday in 1972. Still have it. I don't have the vinyl in here right now. It's downstairs, but and then I have a whole bunch of other Donny albums. So I guess that would be at that age of 5. I had because his color was purple. I had the dark purple shag carpet, purple bedspread, purple white striped wallpaper, and we you watched the Donny and Marie show,
Of course.
right?
Loved it. Yep.
Yeah, that was my thing, and I was going to marry him. I mean,
Of course.
I was
We could
friends.
have had a double wedding, you and Donnie and me and Sean Cassidy.
Oh,
We
and
could have
Sean.
had a double
Yeah,
wedding.
I was a Sean Cassidy fan too, for sure.
Yeah.
But Donnie was my jam, and I'd seen him a few times, but the very first time I met him face to face was this one in 1992. 92, I think this is. Yeah,
Yeah.
192. When he did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in Toronto.
Okay.
Um, saw him then. My mother and I took this little side exit backstage. Out he comes. I walk over. My mom kind of pushed me into him, and we talked. He gave me a hug, and then
Aw.
so I don't know, maybe a month later. This time I was closer to the stage. I got called up on stage, not by him, but another character. And then anyway, met him again. Some lovely lady. This is pre cell phone, so some lovely lady took our photo. I gave her my address, and she mailed me the photos. Actually, I'm just looking at this photo. I don't know if you can see this around my neck. I have this white scarf.
Yeah.
So that is a white silk scarf that the Pharaoh character put around my neck when they called me on stage. And so that's why I
Oh.
put it around my neck. And I actually have that scarf, and Donnie signed that scarf with my pen and my program. I have all that. And then I think and then I just saw him last July at OLG in Niagara, and
Yeah.
I don't have those pictures handy, but that's where I got my autograph. I went right up. He came down. He shook my hand. I showed him
So
this
did he
photo.
see you? He saw you in the audience
Oh
and you
yes, he
had
did.
your
Yes, he
okay,
did.
and you
Because
had your album.
yeah, I was right front and center, like right there. There's no way he couldn't see me. So yeah, I was right there, had that album, and I was holding it. And as he was in the middle of one of his sets, he was singing a song, and he walked by and he looked at me and he nodded to acknowledge, and then he sang a couple more words, and then he came back and he goes, "That's cool," and I was like, ah! And then after a song, he came over and called me up to the stage, and that's where I had the album, and he signed it, and we talked about Joseph, and I showed him the picture, and he held it, and so sleep
Oh.
every night. No, so yeah, that's
What it
my yeah.
Oh, I love that story. What a dream come true. And I
Was.
know I've asked you this over the years. Is Donnie single? Is Don, and we know he's married, but to me, you're like, you know, you're so perfect for Donnie. I
Oh
could totally
well,
see this.
I'll have to message him and let him know that. He'll be
Yeah, please
here
do.
on the sidelines waiting.
Yeah. So where did you see him first, like as a little kid? Do you remember?
Well, I never saw him as a little kid. I think it
Okay.
was even into my teens. The first time I saw him was at Ontario Place when they had the spinning
Oh
forum.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, that was probably my first. I might have been 17, 18. Yeah,
Okay.
and that was the very first time I saw him. So,
God, that's so cool. Do you know if they ever came when we were little? Like, did they come to the CNE or anything? Do you know?
uh, I
Donnie
guess
and Marie?
he did, but again, when I'm little like that, my mom's not taking me shows. I do know that he played
Yeah.
Hamilton Place like long, like many, many, many years ago. But again,
Yeah.
like, yeah, no. So,
That's funny. My mom and dad took us to see Captain and Tennille in 1977 at the
oh
CNE.
my gosh, do you
And
remember it?
oh my God, you know what I remember about it? Because it was like new technology.
Okay.
They had a screen. Like it was probably the same size, those screens that our teachers pulled up to show
Yes,
us
yes,
like a
yeah,
movie or what. It was
yeah.
probably that size. And I don't know if they pulled it down or whatever. And then they showed home videos of them in San Francisco with their dogs running through the
Oh,
park.
okay.
And Tennille, she was singing along to whatever video and then kind of talking in between. And that's where we go down the road to shop. And this is where we do like it was like this whole thing. And
Oh,
I'm like,
like
oh my God, oh
you're
my
watching
God,
like
this
home
is,
movies while you're watching them. Uh,
yeah, yeah. I
that's
loved her. I wanted her haircut so bad.
oh, I know, right?
Remember? Oh,
When
so what?
when I
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
I was just gonna say in regards to the home movies, when I went and saw Donnie last July in OLG, he had except for a gigantic
Yeah.
movie style screen, all like him and his brothers, like when he was like 3 and 4 on Andy Williams show, and same thing that had all these like home movies and him and his brothers playing in the background and stuff. So it was
Yeah.
good.
What a life, huh? Can you
Yeah,
imagine? Like they
yeah.
really, yeah. Would you
And he
remember
still
what your first, do you
sorry.
remember your very first concert, Kim? Like,
Yeah. That was
yeah,
I was like 14, so that's out of definitely out of the Donny, and we're into like the new wave kind of era. So I
yeah.
had a flock of seagulls and
Ah,
split ends. So a flock of seagulls opened for split ends.
oh, cool.
1981, I think.
Yeah.
82, something like that. Yeah.
My
So
God. We lived in such a great time. A friend of mine, it was his birthday yesterday.
yeah.
And anyway, we were chatting about the old days, and he sends me today a flyer that he still has from 1981 from the police picnic.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, check out the opening act. So it showed the police picnic and they played in Oakville. That's where the show was. It was in
Oh,
Oakville. I'm not sure where. I think
okay.
it was like up near where Glen Abbey Golf Course is now.
Okay.
So 81, the openers were the Specials and the Go-Go's.
Oh my goodness. Did you go to that?
No, because
Oh,
I was too young. I
oh,
would have been like 12, 11,
uh,
12, and he was, well, I guess he was 13 or 14. He actually worked it. I think he picked up like garbage and stuff at the park.
oh, oh,
So he
cool.
saw it. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
probably, yeah, he probably saw that was coming, going, I'm going to do volunteer so
Yeah.
I can get in on the show. Yeah, I would too.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
so fun. But I just love you, Kim. I love your energy. I love like we could do a whole podcast just talking about the 80s and
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, and I'm
Absolutely.
so grateful that you come out to my dance parties and you're always like, you're on the floor and you don't get off. You're
Yeah, it's
just
fun. I love dancing.
so
Well,
fun.
remember I said earlier I would have wanted to dance and be a performer, right? So,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Would you ever do tap again? I would love to do tap dancing if you're into it. Maybe we could do it
I have
together.
done so. As I said, like when I was younger, I did it. But then when
Yeah.
my girls were in dance, like in dance classes, I did adult tap lessons This is
Okay.
going back now 10 years ago, give or take, and we did a recital.
Great.
So,
Where did you take the lessons?
well, that was through Burlington Dance Academy, so that's where my girls danced, and
Okay.
so they were like, "Hey, would you be interested in adult tap class?" It wasn't until maybe a month or two in, they were like, "Up to you. Would you ladies want to join your daughter's like dance recital thing, dance performance at the end of the year?" And everyone was like, "Okay." So we're on the
Fun.
stage, all the 3 year olds, the 12, 11 year olds are up there, and then the adults came. It was a hoot. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
amazing.
Frank Sinatra with a start spreading the news. So anyway, it was,
Yeah.
yeah, we had we're all dressed in black and our tap shoes, and we were in the dance recital. So,
Okay, I love that. So I have to share with you, I don't know if I told you this before, but I did tap as a little kid. There was there's the church is still there. It's at Bronny Road in Lakeshore in the
okay.
church basement. Loved it, obsessed. Like I wanted to tap my life away. It was like the best thing ever.
Yeah,
So then it came time for us to talk about the concert we were going to do for the parents.
right.
And what the tap instructor decided was that all the girls were going to wear itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikinis. They're going to play that song while the girls lay on the stage and the boys tapped around us.
Oh,
I was so horrified. I went home to my mom. I think it was my first feminist, like,
yeah,
pushback. I'm like, there is no way in hell I should be center stage. I'm a good dancer.
right.
Why would they make me lie on the stage in a bikini? That's disgusting. I don't
Yeah,
want to be doing. So anyway, that was the only thing my parents ever allowed me to quit because they were like, yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
They
But
didn't either. Yeah,
no, but I always missed it. And
yeah.
I was at a like a little seniors gathering at where my mom lives. And there was a woman there that, like you said, with that lady, she just happened to sit at our table and I
Yeah.
brought up tap dancing and she's a tapper
Okay.
and she does all kinds of performances. She's like in her 70s and she keeps,
Wow.
I've got her contact info. So she's like, it's,
Her name,
like you say, it's not too
name is
late.
Lois, is it? Is her name Lois?
I can't remember her name. I'm gonna
Okay.
have to look it up.
I
Yeah.
know there was a lady way back, like when I was a kid. She was older, so she might even be close to 70 because she was maybe 15, 20 or 15 years older, and she was
Okay.
big dance. And I've seen her somewhere, but so anyway, I was just curious. You'll have to
Oh,
tap
yeah.
offline. That's her.
I'll check for sure. Oh my God. Well, we have so much in our future now.
That's it. So
It's
move your
good.
body. Move your body. That's my advice. Move your body. Lift up some weights. Call me. You can, if I can give a plug to my
Yes.
title here, Fit Girl Kim on Instagram. On Facebook, it's just Kim Elliott McCurlie, but on Instagram, it's at Fit Girl Kim with a U, not an I for girl. And reach out to me, send me a message, and maybe you want some personal training, my home, your home, or online classes. Join us online.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it, Kim. There's no reason to say no. And by the way, I want you to know that your beautiful mama has been watching. And
Oh,
she said, my girl with four hearts and the little face with the hearts on it.
oh, oh,
And she also chimed in with saw it when you were talking about your tap recital.
yes. Oh
So,
my God, there you go.
yes,
Oh, yay, my mother. So,
she's awesome. Yeah.
oh.
I've known your mom for a very long time too. That's another
Before me,
story.
before me,
Before you.
and that's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
we met. So
That's right.
yeah,
Crazy. I just love you, Kim. Thank you so much for this.
thank you. This
And
is great. Thank you.
good. I'm going to put you in the virtual green room and I'll be right back to you while I say
All right.
goodbye.
Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. What a great day to have Kim on because with this sunshine and the weather changing, I think we are all itching to move our bodies and we're going to be gardening and bike riding and doing all kinds of things. And things might feel a bit rusty, but as Kim says, don't sit down, just keep moving. Keep that motion is lotion. So I encourage you all to have a great spring and summer and keep your body moving. And hopefully we can keep it going over the winter next year and just live that healthy, fit lifestyle. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our sponsors, brendabadome.com, scooters.ca. Lessons start at 7 at Scooters if you want to come out for roller skating on Thursday. Flourish and Basque.ca and my website, glamjulz, GLAMJULZ.com. Tomorrow we're starting a big Mother's Day sale, so look out for that. And that's it for now. Keep on showing the world your sparkles. So happy you came out today to listen, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.